What if Naruto had the 10 tails? Part 1. Let's go. The most pressing question is, how will Naruto have the 10 tails sealed inside of him? And to that I say, sit down, grab some tea, and listen to the story of what if Naruto had the 10 tails sealed inside of him. Before this video starts, I do want to point out that I gave the 10 tails at least somewhat of a personality to make the story more enjoyable, unique, and interesting. So now, let's go. On the night of the original Nine Tails attack, or aka the day that Naruto Uzumaki was born, instead of having just the Nine Tails go on a rampage, Obito summoned the Ghetto statue and a little bit of every tailed beast chakra that he gathered along the way, and combines them into the 10 tails. It will take some time until the 10 tails fully formed, and until Obito can absorb the 10-tailed beast. So Minato takes the chance and uses the Reaper Death Seal to seal the 10 tails. At first it seems like an uphill battle, one Minato alone could not win. However, in time of desperation, an old man lends Minato his strength, and helps Minato seal the 10 tails into Naruto. This old man, of course, being Hagoromo, the sage of the 6 paths. He couldn't let the 10 tails and Kaguya be revived again. Without him or his brother, no one could stand against his mother. Before Hagoromo vanishes again, he gives Naruto a little bit of his chakra to help him control the beast. Minato and Kushina still die in this what if, as they both sacrificed their lives and gave it their all to seal a tailed beast far stronger than the 9 tails. We now find ourselves in the Hidden Leaf village about 4 years after the 10 tails attack. Naruto got declared as the 10 tails jinchuriki by Danzo, and has been hated ever since then. The villagers hate Naruto even more than in the original story, and people have tried to even kill Naruto before. Of course, without success. Yet. Not only does the Hidden Leaf village hate Naruto, all of them do. All of the villages hate Naruto because most of the tailed beasts have had incidents where humans have died because of them. And since all of them are combined in Naruto, his hatred is as if taking all the tailed beast hatred and putting it in Naruto. One day, Naruto was being beaten up by some Chunin and Anbu when suddenly Naruto became unconscious. But when he woke up, he was in an underground-like place filled with water. There in front of him, he saw a monster with 10 tails. It had a red eye which stared at Naruto. Naruto recognized the eye as some form of a Sharingan, but it looked abnormal. Naruto asked the monster who he was. No response came. Then, after about half a minute of waiting in silence, there was a deep voice. It said, "I am the 10-tailed beast, called the Jubi or the Shinju." Naruto never really understood what people meant when they said things like monster to him. Naruto asks why the tailed beast is sealed inside of him, but doesn't get a satisfying answer. He asks direct questions as in his hate-filled life he had to grow up fast and learn to survive. After what felt like a day or so, Naruto woke up again, this time however in the Hokage's office, because not even the hospital wanted to help him. After his wounds were healed, he reasoned that Naruto stay in his office until he woke up and became conscious again. Naruto was then told that he was unconscious for about 2.5 hours. He wondered how it could be. He knows that he was in his mindscape for much longer. Then Shinju, the 10 tails, told Naruto that in the mindscape, time runs 10 times slower than in reality, meaning if 1 hour passes, it would be 10 hours in the mindscape. For Naruto, it was about 2.5 hours in real time, meaning it was more than a day for Naruto in his mindscape. Hiruzen is one of only 2 people who can at least stand Naruto, the second one being Ichiraku. So Naruto, thinking of Hiruzen like a grandfather, he told him about how he talked to the beast inside of him. Hiruzen was shocked, because in this story, Minato actually needed to make 5 8-trigram seals instead of 2 like in canon, because of the sheer strength of the 10 tails and its crazy amount of chakra. Of course, he was only able to make these because of Hagoromo helping him. So Naruto still being able to even talk to the Shinju, the 10 tails, is incredible. Naruto actually doesn't tell Hiruzen this, but Shinju gave Naruto a little bit of his chakra so that he could resist future bullies and other people that were trying to hurt him. Of course, even a little bit of the Ten Tails is a lot for a regular human, especially for such a young one. This power does make Naruto a little bit aggressive because of the bloodlust that the Ten Tails possesses. But with all the seals that were put on the Ten Tails, as well as Hagoromo helping, the Shinju's bloodlust was milded to a regular tailed beasts. We skip forward another 3 years after this incident. By now, Naruto has somewhat befriended the Ten Tails. This is mostly because she is basically the only person he can talk to, and the Ten Tails does kind of pity Naruto for his miserable life. The Ten Tails doesn't give Naruto any more power though, first of all, because Naruto can barely handle the bit of chakra he already got from the Ten Tails, and secondly, I don't want Naruto to be quite too OP early on in the story, so a little bit of influence from me there. Because nobody wanted to teach Naruto or let him borrow a scroll or anything, the Ten Tails started teaching Naruto a little bit of chakra control, mostly in his mindscape so that no one would see Naruto doing it, as that might arouse suspicion. And if he's already hated this much without doing anything, it could lead to more complications if Naruto actually trained. For Naruto, it was very easy because he had so much chakra, and although the chakra seals were stronger and there were more of them, the Ten Tails, with Naruto's help, was able to loosen the seals a little bit, making it much easier for Naruto to control his chakra, as the Ten Tails didn't have any will to interfere with Naruto's chakra. Therefore, Naruto had normal, if not even better chances as a regular shinobi. Naruto didn't really make any new friends though, but he is getting beat up much less than he used to because of his new power, as well as the third Hokage being more strict about such things after he realized how bad Naruto was truly treated in the Leaf Village. A day comes where Naruto personally asks Hiruzen if he can have a scroll. If possible, he would like to borrow the scroll of sealing. When Hiruzen asks why especially that one, Naruto just smiles and says, well, it's obviously because I want to learn the jutsus that my dad used. This absolutely shocked Hiruzen, because just like in the original story, no one except for the Hokage as well as the village elders and some high-ranking Jonin like Kakashi knew about Naruto's heritage. Hiruzen agrees to let Naruto borrow the scroll of sealing for 1 day, but before he leaves to practice the jutsu, Hiruzen asks how he knew about Minato and the flying Raijin. Naruto answers that the Shinju told him about how he was sealed inside of Naruto, some things he knew about Naruto's heritage, etc. The Shinju also told Naruto about the Sage of Six Paths and Kagyo Otsutsuki, the legends from another planet that once roamed this world. Naruto heads off with his scroll of sealing, excited to learn the flying Raijin technique that his father used. Once he arrives at a quiet place where he can train, he opens the scroll and searches for 3 things particularly. First, the flying Raijin. Second, the Rasengan, which he was told was a very powerful technique that his father made. And last but not least, he was told by the Ten Tails to look for a jutsu called the Multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu. This is of course because the Ten Tails knows the secret to train dozens of times faster than normal, by just using shadow clones. Naruto will be able to master jutsus incredibly fast due to the crazy amount of chakra the Ten Tails has, meaning he will be able to make many shadow clones, making the training go even faster. The Ten Tails told Naruto to learn the multi-shadow clone jutsu first. He told him it was because it's the easiest jutsu of the 3. However, later the Ten Tails told Naruto to make as many shadow clones as he can and make them all train alongside with Naruto, and then Naruto should train as normal. When Naruto almost collapsed from exhaustion, he disbanded the shadow clones and noticed he had gained all of their knowledge and experiences. He thought he didn't understand how to do the jutsu, but some of the shadow clones were able to do it successfully, meaning he was successfully practicing the flying Raijin after 1 day of training with only a scroll not even a real sensei. On the next day, before training, he made a shadow clone copy the scroll, word for word, image for image, so that when he had to return the scroll, he could still learn some jutsu. After just another 2 days, Naruto was able to do the flying Raijin consistently, and pretty fast at that. It was around this time when a certain Uchiha boy, who was the same age as Naruto, started watching him train. This was Sasuke. He was surprised to see Naruto train, since he was always said to be a lazy kid, but more often than that, he was just called a monster, a demon. Naruto wanted to hide his training, not only to surprise everyone, but also to prove everyone that he could become a shinobi as well, and even the Hokage. But without knowing it, Naruto was already achieved almost a genin level, strength-wise, because he always talked to the Ten Tails. His knowledge about the world, and especially shinobi, was good as well. Sasuke was shocked, but he knew that the boy, Naruto Uzumaki, was the only one in their age group that could rival Sasuke. He was excited to someday fight Naruto, if a friendly match in the academy, or a brutal one on the battlefield. Sasuke didn't care. He was determined to beat Naruto. About a week later, Naruto returns the Scroll of Sealing, but not without mastering the Flying Raijin and beginning to train his Rasengan as well. In the last 5 days, he had about a third of his shadow clones practice the Flying Raijin, and the rest, including himself, practice the Rasengan. However, he did also practice combining the two attacks like his father did, as they worked hand in hand and were very effective. Hiruzen, of course unknowing of Naruto's success, wasn't sure what he did with the scroll, so harmlessly he asked. Naruto answered that he mastered the Flying Raijin and almost the Rasengan, still getting there. Hiruzen couldn't believe what he was hearing, so he asked if Naruto could demonstrate. They went outside, and Naruto placed a bunch of kunai markers in different places around him, in various shapes, and started teleporting from one kunai to another. Hiruzen was shocked and now wanted to see Naruto use the Rasengan. This would be a hard challenge, Hiruzen thought. Naruto started making a Rasengan, but something was different. This time, Naruto had always made so many shadow clones that his chakra was spread thin amongst them. But now the Jubi power was all being formed into a single Rasengan. The Rasengan started transforming into a purplish sphere. This is of course a Bijudama. Naruto smashed it into a tree thinking the tree was simply going to break, but little did he know, he would destroy dozens of trees behind it, in a triangle shape. Luckily, no one was hurt. When the dust settled, Hiruzen asked Naruto if he would like to secretly train with him, as if Naruto could do this with just a scroll. If Hiruzen trained Naruto, he could become a Hokage, or at least a very powerful weapon for the leaf. Naruto gladly accepted. He was amazed of himself. Without knowing it, he made the Rasengan he trained much more powerful. This is of course because instead of spreading the Jubi's power amongst many clones, he put it all into a single strike, resulting into the tailed beast attack, which is similar to the Rasengan, called a Bijudama, and is based on similar principles. After this incident, Hiruzen takes Naruto out for some Ichiraku ramen. Because the Ten Tails doesn't allow Naruto to only eat ramen every day, he should be healthy. So Naruto is super excited about his lunch today, because he's only allowed to eat ramen on special occasions, such as his birthday. Hiruzen restated that he wanted to train Naruto, but it must be in secret. If anyone found out, they might not just bear hatred anymore, but also jealousy, and they would question the Hokage's decision, which could lead to total anarchy in the village. At first, Naruto could borrow some more scrolls and learn some better chakra control. The basics needed to be learned too. Then later, Hiruzen himself would train Naruto in person, sometimes even sparring with him, one-on-one. Here we find ourselves after another 2-year time skip. Naruto is much stronger than anyone his age, without anyone knowing, except for Naruto and Hiruzen. Naruto has mastered the Flying Raijin, the multi-shadow clone jutsu, to the point where if he wants to, Naruto can make over 1 million shadow clones with the help of the Ten Tails as well as the Rasengan, and now being able to do the Rasen Shuriken, basically having perfected the jutsu his father was never able to. He also practiced using the tailed beast's power, and can now control up to 2 tails of Jubi chakra. This is just the cloak, so it is like if any other tailed beast gave it to him. Nothing special here. But still, 2 tails is more than 5 times more powerful than Naruto's usual self, so it is a huge power-up whenever he needs it. Naruto has a very close friendship to Hiruzen and has also met Asuma and Konohamaru a few times. Naruto's power level is high enough that it crossed through Hiruzen's mind that Naruto could join the Anbu Black Ops. Naruto is powerful enough, and he also has a close relation to the 3rd Hokage. However, Naruto refuses as he wants to live a normal life, modest life, so he decided to first go to the academy to make some friends. Hiruzen understands Naruto's decision, but also explains that Naruto could be a completely secret rank that only the Hokage knows about, but that would be for the future. I hope you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.